for all those people who feel anxiety and don't know what to do with it. Hi, my dear friends. My big dream is that everybody in the world will know how to be happy. Because that is a skill that we can learn and practice. In this video, I would like to tell you how I go from anxiety, from feeling anxious, to feeling a little bit better and maybe even happy. A few days ago, I had an anxiety episode. I was running out of money on my bank account. That is usually the trigger for my anxiety. I felt I can't breathe. I felt like no escape. I felt powerless. I felt pain in my chest. I felt anxiety, like there is no way out. I felt anxious many times before. And I know how to get out of that feeling successfully, how to find a better feeling, how to calm myself down. Everybody who has anxiety knows if you don't deal with it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And sooner or later you feel like you can't deal with it anymore. It's gone too far, it's too big, it's like no escape from it. So the first tip that I would give to someone who has anxiety is to catch it early. To catch it at the beginning. The sooner you catch that feeling that you feel anxious, the sooner you become conscious of it, the better it is, the easier it is to deal with it. Because at the beginning it's just a little feeling, like a little fear, oh my God, I'm without money again. And if I don't deal with it in that time, it gets bigger and bigger. And it gets so big that I have the feeling I can't deal with it, and we don't want to go there. Once I become conscious of anxiety, once I become conscious of that feeling, I do something remarkable. No, I'm just joking. I just sit with it. Yeah, I just sit with it. I take time for myself. I go inward, usually through meditation. I just observe it. Sometimes I'm looking for the reason why I feel anxious, but usually I just don't do anything. The reason will show up sooner or later. Once I know that reason, I just let it be. I don't try to solve the problem, because when I'm anxious, I don't have any solution. I don't try to hide it. I usually wanted to force myself in a better mood, but it didn't work. I can't force myself in a better mood. I saw that the best thing is just to be with anxiety. It's hard, I know, it's hard to sit with bad feelings, with negative feelings, because usually we are afraid of them. It's not comfortable to sit with fear or sit anxious and do nothing. But if you do that long enough, the strong anxiety feeling will fade away slowly, gradually. You just have to sit through it. Don't be angry with yourself because you feel that way. I am sometimes, and then I have to remind myself, Sabina, everything is okay, all is well, anxiety will not kill you, you are safe, it's just a feeling, nothing bad will happen. Right now you don't see the solution because you are anxious. When I am in fear, I don't see the solution for my problem. In the middle of that process, when I'm calming myself down, when I'm soothing myself, there comes an inspiration to ask myself, okay, Sabina, what do you really want? And that is like a magic question. When I ask myself, what do I really want? It means that I turned my anxiety around. That question is like the doorway out of negative emotions. It's like I showed myself, okay, I have anxiety, I am okay with it, it is what it is. Now let's go forward, find a solution. So this question, what do I really want, turns my focus from the problem to the solution. Suddenly I start to feel hope, that there may be a solution to my problem. And once I start to feel hope, I don't feel anxious anymore, because I can't feel anxious and hopeful at the same time. That's magic, actually. When I'm anxious because I don't have money on my bank account, I just see, oh my God, I'm again without money. How will I pay the bills? I'm just in that mindset. But once I calm myself down and I ask myself, okay, Sabina, you are where you are, but what do you really want? Maybe the first thought is, I don't want to be in that situation anymore. So I know what I don't want. What is the opposite thing? The opposite thing is, I want to feel safe. I want to have enough money to pay all my bills. I want to feel sure about my money situation. I want to feel free about my money situation. And then I start to think, did I ever felt free in my life? And then yeah, I do remember when I felt, sometimes, actually recently, I felt free about my money situation. Usually I feel safe about my money situation, because until now I always paid my bills on time. I always find a way to make money. I always find a way to make enough money. So I have experiences that I can make money. You see, I'm starting to feel better and better. I'm starting to feel more sure in my abilities to make money. I talk myself into hope and belief in my abilities. That is the way I'm getting myself to feel better and better and stronger and more hopeful. And then I feel like if I got out of this money situation so many times before, I can do it again. Every time I needed an opportunity to make money, the opportunity showed up. That is something I truly believe. And when I'm at that stage, there is no room for anxiety anymore. And then usually I start to feel appreciation for all the opportunities that I have. I start to appreciate the things that I already have, like the house and the car and health and my partner. I start to feel how blessed I am. And I can't feel blessed and anxious at the same time. You see? Feeling good is a practice, and it takes time. Every time I feel anxious, for me, is an opportunity to find a better feeling, to practice a better feeling, to practice this method to feel better. And I love to practice that. I want to become better and better and faster, I truly want to be happy more than 90% of my life. The anxiety, it is a feeling. It is not something we should be afraid of. Like I said, it's an opportunity to practice better feeling. And usually, when I calm myself down, when I go through that process, when I start to feel good and start to feel better, I usually find solution to my problem. The thing is that you can't see the solution to your problem if you feel anxious. If in your mind is just fear, you can't see the solution. But once, for example, I calm myself down, I become hopeful, I start to believe in my abilities again, then the solution is just in front of me. It's easy to see. And I think that is the beauty of that process. You know, when you feel anxious, don't give up. It's not worth it. Learn how to get from anxiety to feeling better. And, you know, then you have the tool to find a good feeling anytime you feel anxious. And that is something I appreciate the most. I'm really happy that I know how to go from anxiety to feeling good, to feeling happy again. And I wish everybody in the world would have that knowledge. And that is why I am making these videos. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Ciao.